Hey everyone, and welcome back in. Well, we're back to more or less a usual routine here. We have a plastic kit. We'll be using glue and paint, but a few changes. Well, we'll do a different era here. We'll move back to World War I, which is not so unusual, but we're going to move up to 1/16th scale. This is the 1/16 FT from Takom, or FT-17 as it's also known as. And if size does matter, we'll find that out here soon enough. So the FT, produced by Renault, made it onto the battlefield in 1917 and is widely considered basically the grandfather, the first modern tank, or the first real tank. Rotating turret, suspension, it had everything that basically modern tanks throughout the lineage up until current times has built upon. In terms of what's in the box, well, a lot of plastic, just bigger pieces of it. Of course, we've got our instruction booklet. It looks like a little bit of photo etch there, a small decal sheet. I'm just going to pretty much take this as it comes to me from the box, a little detailing here and there as things may show up. But otherwise, we'll just kind of play with this and see where we end up with it. Well, beginning with the instructions, the first thing is the engine. And so we'll spend basically this entire episode working on the engine. And yes, it comes with an interior, and I will be building the interior as much as it will all be covered up and never be seen again. But I'm going to tackle this more or less like I would an aircraft model, especially something that has a cockpit. So go ahead and paint it all out, get everything looking really, really nice, and then eventually we'll just lock it away, cover it up, never to be seen from again. Now, I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek because really, I'm enjoying the process of building these and especially painting out these models. So whether, it gets hidden inside or not really isn't that big of a deal. Overall base colors are applied using AK Gen 3 acrylics. The lead gray, which is basically the base color here, it's a really nice tone. Got a little bit of a blue hint to it. I like this a lot for metal finishes. Over the top of the base color, just add a few extra drops of a lighter gray tone into that mix and reshoot it again just ever so lightly just to bring out some of those highlights and edges. Now this really begins what will be the fun part of this engine, and that is just picking out all the details, and especially these older model engines such as this. Well, there's a lot of really great components to it, a lot of brass, a lot of shiny parts here and there. We've got coarse dust and dirt. These things leaked oil like crazy, so we'll be able to add a lot of those stains and features onto this, so this is going to be a lot of fun. One thing that I've learned over the years is that when working with metallic paints, you can really affect their tone by the base color underneath it. So in this case, I really wanted these brass features to really shine. So I've gone ahead and repainted those in a light color, white color, and now I'll come back with the metallic tone, and these will really start to brighten up and shine as compared to, say, if they were left in the darker color. And as you can see here, I've used a nice red-brown color as my base and then a light wash of the acrylic brass color. And that, again, it just gives a nice tonal effect. Another really cool tool that I've got in my arsenal here are these true metal colors. And these are basically a wax paste, highly metallic. And so I've got just the slightest amount on the tip of my brush, and I'm just kissing the surface, the lightest of dry brushes here. And it's just pulling up all the highlights right here around these plug and cylinder heads. This really couldn't be any easier, and it certainly is effective. One detail that's missing from the Takom kit, which is it's kind of interesting because there's actually the bracket to hold this what would be a brass tube that the spark plug wires run into, but there's no tube in the kit. Of course, no wiring, of course. And so I'll just use a bit of styrene tube, just drill out the ends of that, add some wiring, which is just some thread, some string that's soaked in some paint just to get the proper color, and then just go ahead and apply this directly to the brackets, and then wire up my spark plugs. Just a couple snips with the scissors, get those tidied up into length, a bit of cleanup, and we're good to go. Now I can start to concentrate on adding some of the weathering effects. Still using the acrylic colors, just a light wash of a lighter color gray, kind of a brownish gray, just to start adding a base layer of grime and dirt. Well, I think we're getting closer to starting to put some of these assemblies together. We've got a little bit of weathering going on here, so let's pull this radiator in there. Let's start attaching some of these components, and then we can start building these up in more of a complete sub-assembly. Just a brief moment, and don't turn off the channel. Nope. Need to thank my patrons. You guys, you keep this channel moving along. If you like this channel and would like to support it further, please consider joining Patreon. In return, there's a Discord server for chats, progress photographs of these as they're ongoing, early viewing of the final videos, special feature videos from time to time. It's a great place to hang out. I hope to see you over there. Well, we must be getting serious about the weathering now, because I've got my oil paints out and I have all my suitable dirt and grime colors laid out here. I switched out the engine grease for bitumen. That's this one on the corner, and boy, that leaches out quite a bit, so I may substitute that back into my favorite engine grease here in just a second. But in the meantime, just weathering as usual. Generally starting out with, again, the lighter colors. This happens to be the light mud color. And just establishing a base of dirt and grime. And then we'll start building our colors up from there. This is where everything really starts coming together, and I start having just a blast, because now it's just about adding smaller details here and there. You know, you kind of start out with your bigger picture, your broader brush. You're adding the larger washes. You're kind of establishing patterns of dirt or grease or dust or something like that. And now you get to this point where we could start adding individual stains and very special interest features. And this is always my favorite part of weathering. Well, hold on, guys, because we're taking a hard left turn here. We're changing directions. Sorry for the whiplash. Probably should have put my signal on first. We've been working on that engine this entire episode, and there's still quite a bit more to do, but I thought, well, let's go ahead and just change it up just a little bit. Now, these videos, my building, everything that goes with it, you are watching this more or less in real time. So I'm building as fast as I possibly can, putting these videos together and presenting them to you. So Especially at this stage, it's a little bit jumbled up because while I'm waiting for something to maybe dry on the engine area, I might find a piece here or there on another part of the interior that I can start working on just to kind of get things ready. And that's what we're doing right now. This piece was given a base color of that leather gray, the darkest of browns, and then I just gave a crosshatch pattern just very lightly with those other two colors, just if nothing else, just to kind of break up the pattern so it didn't look like a piece of chocolate sitting there. But that also gives me this randomness, this kind of the happy accident sort of thing, where now I can start filling in these areas and using certain lines here and there to start to bring out a pattern of wear and tear on the leather. I always get to this point, there's someplace in the middle of working with acrylics that it's just not coming together. Well, I shouldn't say it's not coming together. It's just, it needs to be unified. And so I'll use a light wash, highly thin paint of one of those mid-tone colors there, and just apply that over the top of everything. And that just brings all those different colors, all those little brush strokes together. That starts to dry. I can kind of see where I'm at with this and then add more of those fine features using the brush as I go forward. Well, as I mentioned, this is going to be a big project, more ways than one. Yes, it's taken up a lot of space on my workbench as well. A lot to do, obviously, of course, on this one. Here's a shot of the bench seat and partially what's going to be the forward interior of the crew cabin there, the driver's area. Of course, the engine here as well, a few shots of that. And like I said, we're working on this as quickly as possible, so bear with me. This is going to be a longer video series, I think. So between working on the interior of this, the painting, of course, of the model, like I said, we're going to work on a figure. I think we're going to put a base onto this, which would be quite a large base at 1/16 scale. A lot to do, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities to try some new skills, add some details at a larger scale that I'm not used to. So we'll get into all that in the future series, future episodes. So until then, everybody, take care and happy modeling, and thanks for watching.